Good morning.
Yeah.
6 a.m. Thursdays always sets the pace for the weekend and a precursor for your plans.
Yes, sir. But you have to just chill, just wait, stand by for tomorrow, and the vibes for the weekend really kick in.
Yeah, meanwhile, we have got you covered for today. My name is Yomi Okwe, and this is Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, indeed. Titilayo Oyinsan here. We're streaming live at tvcentertainment.tv and Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
Send in all your comments on our social media platforms. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
You can also download our mobile app. As soon as you do, just visit any Android or iOS store, download the app, watch us from your mobiles anywhere in the world.
We're going to start off the show this morning with our favorite fans.
And of course, when it comes to music,
Alphabets of Leadership for Young Minds is the book in focus. And joining us to talk about this on our book chat is author Odunayo Sanya.
when it comes to tech, we have Barrister Barinada. Now, we're going to be talking about social media and visibility, especially when it comes to online businesses.
And next, joining us for another musical performance is songwriter and recording artist Pixie with his song Type. My Type.
Thursday is all about the art, and of course we have some fantastic art pieces showcasing today. The artist is Timothy Olalekan Kukola, who has a deep appetite for environmental art. So as you can see, that's going to be an interesting segment to watch.
And hey, there's something cooking at Uber. We're going to be getting more details very shortly.
There's something else happening though. Max FM is going to be 2 years old. We'll be linking up live to find out what Mark and Debbie are up to on their breakfast show. Oh, wow. It's going to be a great show. Gonna be great.
You know, Mark and Debbie are always harassing me that, one day we're going to storm your show.
Wow, wow. Yeah, just appear.
While the show is on, they're just going to storm here and cause a ruckus.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
both of us hosted the opening ceremony for Max FM.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
That's true. And it was live
Yeah.
on TVC as well at the Federal Palace. It was nice.
It feels like time has really, really flown by. 2 years of great radio, great music. Their fan base has grown exponentially.
They moved from probably number 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Right up to the top of the top of the list.
Top 5.
Yeah.
They're always just in between the top 3, top 5 radio stations in Lagos, and it's really impressive. And I hear Mark and Debbie are always watching us every morning. Hey, Mark. Hey, Debbie. They're always watching us every morning.
Yeah, but we're going to be linking up with them live very shortly. But yeah, they've done really well. I think. The model that they use, especially on Mark and Debbie's show and even on the afternoon show as well, is also a very instructive model where a good balance between talking and music. Yeah. Which is really, really important. Sometimes people just want to listen to music and not just hear you ramble on and on and on and on like a talking head for a whole minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But now, when you have a good balance, they know that, okay, he's going to be talking for a minute or a minute and a half,
music
and then music.
Coming.
Yeah. So once you know that music is coming, then you can chill and not change the station. So,
and then, so when I was being trained in radio, I was always told, say, if you don't have anything important to say, just let the music do the talking.
Yeah.
So, and then there's something about some OAPs who just love the sound of their voice.
Exactly.
So, hey, we know your voice sounds sweet. That's why we employed you.
It's not some AOPs. Most of the OAPs love the sound of their own voice.
Yeah.
And because the speakers in the studio is a bit different from, so once you hear, you're like, I sound so good.
But that's why you were employed.
And then you
knew you sounded good anyway. We need you to speak for a little while and give us some good music, and that's what they do every morning.
Yeah.
So that's really, really great. Great.
Anyway, I
can't wait to hook up with them.
Oh yeah, so it's going to be nice. Just to find out what their own experience has been, because I think they even wake up earlier than we do.
Oh,
so
honestly,
it's crazy. I don't know how they do it, but yeah, they're going to be talking to us.
But we also have the news update, and Sarah, the amazing Sarah, is standing by.
Thank you, Titi, and thank you, Yomi. It's nice to see Yomi back on the show anyways. But then let's go to the news updates. As an inferno brought pain and agony to residents of Onitsha, the commercial city in Anambra State. The State Police Command confirmed that the fire started from a petrol tanker that had an accident around the upper Iweka axis of the city. For more than an hour that the inferno had spread across the city. There was no firefighter or emergency responder at the scene. Ochanga, the second largest market in the town, was razed as the fire burned through dozens of residential buildings and commercial premises. Now, hundreds of vehicles were also touched as the fire moved with the petrol flowing down the road. Now, police patrol teams have cordoned off the area to prevent hoodlums from taking advantage of looting, while efforts still ongoing to put off the fire as of yesterday. Now, meanwhile, a yet-to-be-identified woman and her baby caught up by the inferno and burned beyond recognition were rushed to Toronto Hospital, but certified dead by a medical doctor while receiving treatment. The level of loss cannot be put together at this time, but there are fears that casualty may be more.
Had an accident on Upper Iweka and caught fire and emptied his content to the gutter, which spread to all the surrounding buildings in Upper Iweka, and some were caught in fire. And of course, the famous Oketa market is affected in the inferno. For now, there's no confirmed loss of life, but as the investigation continues, we get the results.
Well, let's move away from that. Now, there is no agreement yet between the Labour and the federal government as negotiations enters the third day. Negotiations to continue after 8 hours of meeting in the early hours of today failed to reach a truce. Negotiations between the federal government and organised Labour over implementation of their new national minimum wage is still on, and all parties are to resume deliberations by 7 p.m. today. Labour and Employment Minister Chris Ngige says a subcommittee of the negotiating team has been mandated to look through some documents and come up with agreeable figures. The subcommittee is to feed the larger house by 7 this evening, after which deliberations are billed to be concluded. The NLC president, Ayuba Waba, admits that some concessions have been made, but will not disclose details until talks are concluded. It says states that have kick-started strikes do so after the breakdown in negotiations with their respective governments. Now, TVC News gathers that Labour has shifted ground from 29% consequential adjustment demand for grade levels 7 to 14 to 25% and 20% from 24% for those on levels 15 to 17. But the government says it is not feasible.
The drums of war, the sound have gotten less now, so that Nigerians can relax and do their business. The investors also will not feel that their investments are threatened because of the presumed threat of strike. We have not gotten to the final destination, we are not bettered there, but I do know that after today's meeting, we should be able to dot the T's and I's and sign our agreement.
Well, another Nigerian entrepreneur has been killed in South Africa over an alleged business disagreement with a client. This comes just weeks after the meeting between President Muhammadu Buhari and his counterpart, Cyril Ramaphosa, where they renewed their commitment to ending xenophobia. The Nigerian Union in South Africa says the man identified as Ikenna Otugo was stabbed by unknown assailants in Epangeni on Tuesday. The 41-year-old native of Nimo in Njokoka local government area of Anambra State died on the way to the hospital. He is survived by a 9-year-old son, and at least 490 Nigerians have fled South Africa over the xenophobic attacks. Noise pollution has continued to be a menace in Lagos despite a series of government-sponsored campaign against it. But as part of efforts to curtail noise pollution, officers of the Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency held a sensitization program for residents of Owoshoki. And there, the general manager of LASEPA, Adebola Shabi, for several hours admonished Lagos residents to desist from creating noise through domestic, religion, and commercial activities. Now, according to him, noise pollution reduces life expectancy, and within 3 weeks, LASEPA would begin to invoke its constitutional powers to discipline offenders. And now in Ethiopia, out of Nigeria, the central bank is confident that the country will receive $1 billion from the World Bank over the next fiscal year after the government announced a new 3-year economic program. The Washington-based lender in October last year approved $1.2 billion for the government's agenda to liberalize one of the world's fastest growing economies and attract more foreign capital. National Bank of Ethiopia Governor Yanaga Desi says the financing envelope depends on reallocation processes within the World Bank. Now, Ethiopia last month unveiled its largest plan known as Homegrown Economic Reform. And the future of Boris Johnson's Brexit deal hangs in the balance as EU officials say the outcome of talks should be known by the end of the day. The EU's Donald Tusk says it would have bet on a deal 24 hours ago, but doubts had appeared on the UK side. The Prime Minister is trying to get Tory Brexiters and Democratic Unionists on board for his revised plan for Northern Ireland. He's in a race against time to get a deal before Thursday's crucial EU Council meeting and likens the talks to climbing Mount Everest. And that's the news update for this hour. The weather forecast is up next.
Today, October 17.
The Punch has this headline. It says on 25.7 trillion naira debt, experts expose IMF's call for tax hike, say Nigerians overtaxed. Increasing tax will help federal government offset debts, execute projects, says the fund. LCCI, Dawn, others advise government to widen tax net. Federal government deports 7 Koreans, bans them for life. Lawan, Christian lawmakers pray for Nigeria October 31st. It also says here, fraudsters are using my office to defraud Nigerians, according to the SGF, right at the top of the page here. Buhari slashes ministers' foreign trips, ESTA codes. That's interesting. Meanwhile, Aisha Buhari apologizes for viral villa rage. Page 9 has more on that story. Woman, child, 3 others burnt in Onitsha tanker fire, which is our picture story here. And there's more on page 24. And UI sets up panel to expose Randy lecturers. That should be an interesting read. Traders snub NAFDAC directive, continue sniper sale. And finally, EFCC seals off Osun nightclub over 94 suspected fraudsters. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
Let's check out the cover of the Vanguard, shall we? Federal government cuts travels, ESTA codes for ministers, other officials. MDAs to submit, get approval for travel plans. And directive to ensure efficiency, curb leakages in government resources. Size of delegations now limited, more officials to travel economy. Up here, we have a few stories. 45 billion naira bus purchase. We acted on Ambode Exco's approval, says Accountant General. IMF worries over Nigeria's debt burden. And insurgency, Buhari directs service chiefs to settle entitlements of slain soldiers. And smuggling, Nigeria needs to fix structural and institutional other shortcomings. And why federal government can't recover $62 billion from oil majors, says Silva. Xenophobia, another Nigerian killed in South Africa 2 weeks after Buhari-Ramaphosa meeting. And Jim Ovie's school acquires AIS property in Lagos, and why 13.1 million children are malnourished in Nigeria, says UNICEF. And that's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
Okay, so the Nigerian Tribune has more on that minister's story. It says federal government bars ministers, others from frequent foreign trips. So it goes further to say limits travels to twice in 3 months. Trips to be approved, size of delegation must not exceed 4, and aids to fly economy. Now that is some details that will make some people giggle. Let me keep reading here. It says 2.28 trillion naira deficit. BPE advocates privatization of federal government assets. Says state enterprises gulp $3 billion annually. It also says here kidnapping of 9 Kano children barbaric, wicked, unacceptable, according to the ACF. On insurgency, settle entitlements, welfare packages of victims. Buhari tells security chiefs. Fayemi begins payment of 20,000 naira stipends to Ikiti elders. And finally, on minimum wage, waiting game as Labour, federal government yet to reach agreement. That's what we have on the cover of the Nigerian Tribune.
Let's take a look at the Daily Sun. Buhari moves to cut cost of governance, slashes ESTA codes, sizes of delegation for ministers, directs MDAs to submit travel cost. Scammers using my office to defraud Nigerians, says the secretary to the government of the Federation. And anxiety as NJC interviews new Supreme Court justices. Wow. And hellfire in Onitsha. Fuel tanker sets Ochanja market ablaze. Daughter, mom dead, and 6 houses burnt. This was all over social media yesterday. It was really, really bad. And we can see a photograph of some of the buildings and shops razed by the inferno at Upper Iweka, Onitsha, yesterday. And the billowing smoke from the fire, from the tanker fire going on yesterday. And then still on the cover of the Daily Sun, Bayelsa Guba, tension as youths disrupt INEC meeting in Yenagoa. An illicit financial flow, Nigeria loses $17 billion annually, Transparency International says. And that's what we have on the cover of the Daily Sun.
And that's indeed all we have time for at this point when it comes to the newspaper headlines. Quite a lot in the headlines today.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
But we have to take a quick break. Wake Up Nigeria continues after this.
Good morning and thank you for staying tuned to Wake Up Nigeria. Oh my gosh, you're surprised I'm smiling, right? That's because the traffic situation this morning is surprisingly good. I mean, really good. Okay, let me not get ahead of myself. Lagos traffic, of course, as you know, can be very, very tricky. In fact, it takes somebody who is very conversant with roads to get to work early or to at least get to his or her destination early enough. Anyway, if this is your first time tuning in, keep in mind that you can always be a part of the show by tweeting or by sending a message on Facebook or Instagram using the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. And you could send a traffic selfie as well. It would be nice to see. I know you might be feeling stressed and upset though, so it's all right if you can't. Let's take a look at the traffic situation this morning. I'm going to start off from Maryland bus stop to CMS Garage, and I am pleased to inform you that that trip will take you less than 37 minutes. I'm not even kidding. So if you step out from Maryland bus stop, the traffic is not so bad. In fact, it's a freeway through Anthony bus stop. Well, just as you get to that bridge, there's just light traffic under the bridge. But afterwards, it's a freeway through Obanikoro, Pedro. But when you're around Shomolu axis, as well as the Onipanu axis, there's light traffic around there, but only for a short while. It eases out again and it's free flowing. I'm even imagining myself just driving through it. And then just after Fadeyi bus stop, you'd experience light traffic. There's a gridlock there, very brief though. It shouldn't take you too long. Bumper to fender traffic there, but it's just a very short one, okay? So don't panic. After which, it's a freeway again. Kind of deceptive though, because when you're approaching the ABC transport, that's exactly at that Ojelade Street area. That's where you experience light traffic. But afterwards, it's free flowing through Jibowu. Oh my goodness, through Ojuelegba, through Tejosho access, all the way till you are approaching Ikponri. So it's at Ikponri, just before Ikponri, that's where you would experience bumper to fender traffic. That's where you find the gridlock there through Alaka. But you pass Alaka Estate, so don't panic. Alaka Estate phase 1, you pass there before the traffic starts. But it's just after that the traffic begins. The gridlock begins there, and it goes on till you are almost about to get on the Eko Bridge. So it's from there all through the bridge, it's free flowing this morning. But as soon as you get off the bridge, especially as you're approaching the causeway, that's the Ijora Causeway area, there's light traffic, and as soon as you're off the bridge, it's bumper to fender. Yeah, and the gridlock continues through Akpogbon, but just before you get on the water there, that's when you're going over the water, the traffic becomes lighter, and it's light traffic. In fact, that light traffic takes you all the way till you get to the Wesley Cathedral. Okay, from there, it's free flowing, mostly on the Akpogbon streets, except for light pockets of light traffic here and there until you get to the CMS garage. So yeah, it's a good morning to traverse Lagos. Yes, from Maryland to CMS this morning. Amazing. Spending that amount of time. It's almost like you can just leave home at your leisure, but be careful, oh. Other people are watching, oh. The roads could become really congested in seconds. All right, let's take a look at another route. I'm taking a look now at the Mushin axis. That's the Ile-Epo to Mushin bus stop axis, okay? And another surprise, it will take you less than 50 minutes. What is going on? People decided to stay indoors. Wait, okay, so wait. Was the strike announced last night? I'm thinking maybe there's something going on that we are missing here, because it was supposed to start today if an agreement wasn't reached yesterday. Maybe that's why there's traffic. Okay, I haven't checked the news this morning, so we'll see about that. Maybe that's why, because this is scary. It's like there's a public holiday or something. Okay, so coming out from Ile-Epo bus stop, there's light traffic, but it's just for a short while. It eases out, freeway for you. But then you experience pockets of traffic before you get to Pleasure bus stop. From Pleasure bus stop, however, it's free flowing. Approaching Iyanokpaja, there's light traffic, and then you'll experience gridlock a few minutes before you get to the bridge, which isn't so surprising, especially at this time of the day. But the bumper to fender traffic just takes you as far as passing the bridge. As soon as you're through the bridge, the traffic eases out, it's lighter, and then after about 2 minutes, it becomes really free, and that freeway continues all through Iyano. That strike has started. All through Iyano until you're approaching Dokpemu. Let me check the time again. This is 6:35 a.m. What is going on? Are people choosing to stay indoor today? Okay, well, as soon as you get to Dokpemu Bridge, just as you're approaching the bridge, there's light traffic. Note, light traffic, not even the usual gridlock. And as soon as you pass the bridge, it's free flowing. I mean, that free flowing traffic continues till you're just past Valley Estate. That is where the traffic starts, just before you get to the bus stop there. That's the cement bus stop. So through the St. Thomas Catholic Church area, the bumper to fender traffic continues, but then it eases out. It doesn't take so long. It's just that very light traffic this morning. In fact, I hope nobody is playing football on the main road, though. And then that traffic, actually, the freeway continues. And it goes on and on and on till you are approaching Mangoro axis. That's where you experience light traffic and then a bit of gridlock. Could be caused by anything, perhaps people hitting each other due to the freeway. You know, when you have freeway now, you just want to keep going. You don't know that you have to be careful. I always tell you, be careful. And then it's a freeway till you get to Ile-Zik, the usual customers. There, light traffic eases you, or rather ushers you into the gridlock. And that gridlock continues until you get to Ikeja Bridge. I mean, the gridlock just goes on. That's where the major issue is. In fact, that will take you about up to 15 extra minutes. That's where most of the time will be spent. And from there, don't worry, apart from pockets of gridlocks and pockets of light traffic, it's, as they say gobe till you get to Mushin bus stop. So you'll be fine. 15 minutes if you've stepped out of the house right now, till you get to Mushin bus stop. I'm sure you'll be fine. Remember, as I always say, have consideration for other road users. Be patient, okay? And think of others. Think of your life as well. Drive carefully. All right, I'll be joining the guys in the kitchen right now. What's up? What are we talking about?
Thanks, Mary. Just a quick one.
Okay.
I know you would.
No, I was actually about to say, you know, that I know that Mary has been going for her LASMA training of recent. So she'll probably graduate from the LASMA Academy very soon.
Very soon.
Say it to my face.
I'm actually very cowardly sometimes.
Yeah, so what did you just
when
say?
you're taller than me.
What did you just say?
Help, help. Okay,
Mary, could
you know what? Yomi had some updates.
You want me to turn on you?
We'll get you a nice LASMA uniform.
Yes, coupled with the koboko.
Sure you guys know that this is not.
LASMA people don't have kobokos. It's not part of the outfit.
Yeah, but well, hey, you know what? Let's just take the traffic update.
Yeah, so I was going to say, so the gridlock at Ojota is hopefully going to ease up very soon.
Okay.
Because it's one of the major areas that the governor is focusing on, and he talked about it specifically over the weekend, that Ojota is a major area. It's a major artery that leads to a number of places.
Okay.
And so, so his focus is really focused on that, because it's really been a tough area for the past month or so.
Yeah.
Coupled with the rains, everything, because all the buses coming into Lagos go through there.
Yeah.
And all the major motor parks and all of that are in that area as well.
And
so that's been going on, yeah.
And you probably only notice that those roads are so important when they are less accessible.
Yeah,
you probably don't realize how important a particular route is until that route is
because you just drive through, right?
Yeah, you just drive through and you don't think about...
Until the day,
until the day
something happens, yeah.
And it's true, that's the main... that comes all the way from Bega from Alausa, so he will feel it coming from Alausa as well. So,
you get, and people entering Lagos, you know, you're going...
Yes, that's the first point of call.
First point of call, Ojota, then, you know, people go
to
other places, Jibo, Fari, and the rest of that. And once you're stuck in that place, you can be there for an hour or 2 hours.
Goodness me.
Okay. So I know, Titi, you wanted to share something earlier.
Yeah, well, you know, honestly, I want to give a big shout out to MM. I don't know if she's watching right now. We've not given her a shout out in a while. We miss you, MM.
She should send us photographs. I don't know what's going on.
MM needs to send us photographs of herself and the baby. Yeah, so MM is the one that used to come up with all this amazing gist for us.
In fact, she came up with this one.
Yes.
I was watching from retirement.
And I was just like, MM, you know what? As in, that's why we miss you.
Titi, you are the one that made her give us gist.
Well,
stressing somebody that is not.
The issue was, you know, it was a completely different conversation. But the gist that was trending on the weekend, actually, was about a Nigerian actress, a 20-year-old Nigerian actress who just happened to get married to a 58-year-old billionaire politician.
Okay, you're talking about Regina Daniels, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But the issue for me was not that they got married, but it was about the fact that they got married within 3 weeks of meeting each other.
Yeah, that's what she said in a recent interview.
Yes. And I was just a little confused. 3 weeks, not 3 months. And yesterday we had the conversation on whether love was truly blind or not.
Okay.
I'm trying to think about, okay, fine, relationships, you can't understand anybody's relationship unless you're in it, right? Yeah. But is 3 weeks really enough to make that decision to say you want to settle down with someone?
If you have a good person, 3 days is enough.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
Mary.
If you have
3 days.
You know something, eh? People keep saying, know this person more, spend time. it has been proven over and over again that those who
spent
that time are more likely to have unhappy marriages. Why? Because see finish has entered. And it's not a case of taking each other for granted.
Right.
But 3 weeks. 3 weeks, though.
See, 3 days is good.
Goodness me.
See, I've actually seen a couple that they met on Monday at an official function. And by Wednesday, they had gotten special license.
Okay, so
guess what? They've been married for 15 years now. Like, you can tell they still love each other. Yeah, there are some people that I know that dated for 20 years.
I get you. Now, there is that
They've
argument.
been married for 1 year, and their marriage is over.
Yeah.
Calm down, calm down. There is that argument that in some cultures, in Asia, right, where some people meet on the wedding day. Right?
Oh, yeah.
There are
it's
some,
not a culture in Asia. It happens all over the world.
But there is that comma of the fact that he's a billionaire. And that's why it was trending.
Oh, right.
So this is someone who just turned 20 and suddenly meets a billionaire and is married within 3 weeks.
And then you would have preferred her to be a sugar baby.
Well, now the issue is, if he wasn't a billionaire, would that marriage have happened in 3 weeks?
Would you have... See, even the ones that are billionaires, most times they end up becoming sugar daddies to this girl.
Yeah.
He likes her. She likes him. They
And
decided
got married,
to make it
so
official.
So,
okay.
I mean...
So he made an honest woman of her instead of making her his
Marriage doesn't make you a honest woman. If you are honest, you are honest. If you are not, you are not. Period.
Well, I didn't get married in 3 weeks.
Yeah, of course not.
I also didn't meet someone who was 30 years younger. But
looks like your eyes look like you wish it was.
my wife is just a few years younger, Jerry.
Okay.
So it's you know how they say different strokes
For different folks.
Exactly. So sometimes, and I know that happens a lot with Nigerian men who, after a certain age, they feel like
they need a refresher.
they start feeling like King David. You know when
Which King David?
Where the Bible says that a young
somebody's
damsel
wife,
was
so
brought.
A young damsel.
Yeah, a young damsel was brought to warm him up. You know.
Wow.
When he was old and
But it was as destined.
stricken in age.
We
Yeah.
are destined to go on a short break now. We'll be back. Stay with us. TZ right here with me, and he's about to perform Give Me Love, a song you wrote with your friends, right?
Yes.
Okay, so for someone who's been doing music for 2 to 3 years, you can be pretty sure that he is ready to give us his vibes. Okay, so you know I need you to use that mic when you're performing. Okay, Give Me Love, that's the song for you.
Excuse off the world, he gon' go shout. The first thing ready, always in my mind all the time that I wake up. I can't control how I feel. You mean so much to me. Your body and your smile, especially that your face is fine without makeup. You don't know what you have done to me. Girl, you make my heart beat. Take his love. Girl, I go up for you, baby girl, I no go retire. Because you in my mind, I no go lie. Your body bad and I no go let you go. Girl, I go give my life to you and I go hold you down. You in my mind, I no go lie. You no go lie. I'm on the net and she get it. One she got you. I feel my mirror. Baby, she my mirror. Give me love, give me love, baby. Give me love, give me love, baby. Give me love, give me love, baby. Give me love.
Boy, I've been waiting all my life for this type of vibe. Oh. Baby, they make me high, yo. And I wanna see you tonight, oh. Anytime when I sleep and I wake up, girl, I wanna see you by my side, oh. Say me love you, get me no one break up. Baby girl, come be my wife. Say all my friends and family, they tell me, say you no go gree. Girl, your body be like say make I go call police. Girl, you be 10 over 10. Girl, you fine, you be my baby. You walk up gun in my prayer. I'm gonna get take it slow, you're my family.
I'm on the net and she get it. One she got you. I feel my mirror. Baby, she my mirror. Give me love, give me love, babe. Give me love, give me love, baby. Give me love, give me love, babe. Give me love, give me love, baby. See, every time I wake up, baby, when I see you, girl, I dey craze. Baby, all these guys, they won't follow me to run race. yeah. But I go stand by you any kind of weather, baby, them know the truth, yeah. I'm a little walk, come be my wine, mama.
I say, call that girl with the dance for corner. Tell her, say, teasy, they call her. The way she dey whine her way, she dey make me crazy, girl, I can't explain. Yeah, your body, with the coming, and they make bad man to the honey, girl, this not funny. I want this your body, baby girl, I no go over the lonely, girl.
I'm on the metal, she get it, one she yeah, yo. I'm a baby, love. Baby, she my baby, love. Yeah, give me love, babe. Give me love, babe. Give me love, babe. Give me love, babe. Give me love, babe.
Yeah, you fine, you feel mine, you
On the mix.
I'm a little walk, come be my wine, mama.
Yeah, hopefully you've been able to get a breather because the second hour of the show starts right now.
Time flies, right?
Yeah, especially when you're having fun.
1 hour's gone by already, and if you, of course, if you love the first hour of the show, the second hour is going to be equally fantastic for you people.
So, just in case you were wondering, this is the best breakfast show on TV. Just
number one, like certified number one.
Like seriously.
According to all the ratings, we're number one. Right.
So
coming to you live every single day, Monday to Friday.
Yes, indeed. So you're in the right place. You tuned to the right station. This is Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And I am Yomi Okpe. Of course, yeah, we know you have to go out, but we are streaming live on tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook as well at TVC Connect.
Those comments, we love them.
TVC Entertainment.tv and on Facebook as well at TVC Connect.
Those comments, we love them, we appreciate them. Send them across all the social media platforms with the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC, just so we can see it.
We also have an app available for you, and you can download this app at both the Android and the iOS stores. This app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
So we have someone brand new, fresh for you in the kitchen, all the way from the city of Ibadan.
That's true, very true. Yeah, I heard us,
Yeah.
trying to make arrangements yesterday, or
Yeah.
just 2 days ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chef Jizzy is in the building.
Yes, so.
Look at an Ibadan chef. You people be having Ibadan people.
Hey.
Look, I'm not shedding Lagos
Looking
chef.
fresh.
But look
As
at
a
an Ibadan
solid-
chef. No traffic. See, life is good. In fact, I'm relocating to Ibadan tomorrow.
Mary, wait, calm down. We don't have a studio in Ibadan yet, not yet.
Chef
Look at
Jizzy,
him, no stress.
Chef Jizzy looks calm,
Hey,
fresh.
why are you raising your
It
eyebrows?
looks like he doesn't have
calm
any
now.
issues
You are
at all.
calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't wait to give you what is on the menu today. Something that will make everybody lick their lips. Something really yummy, I tell you. Yummy.
Chef Jizzy, looking
It's
forward
just
to
like
it.
you this
Yes,
morning.
Ha!
like
Okay,
it.
okay. And you know what Yomi always says about new chefs?
Oh, new chefs are always very, very generous. So looking forward to something like that today.
dear me.
Anyway, so straight to the rest of this morning's highlights. Alphabets of Leadership for Young Minds is the focus of our book this week. And joining us to talk about this book on the book chat is author Odwayo Sonya.
Yes, sir. Then we move on to tech. Barrister Barinada is going to be here. We're talking about social media visibility today, something that's become very important when it comes to marketing a business.
And next after that is another musical performance, the second for the day. And this one is from songwriter and recording artist Pixie Yemi.
Sipping on that juice and gin and me cup, she a pop. I could tell her me I want more. Yeah. Ain't no other fan like ya. Shawty break it down for the boy.
We'll be showing you some fantastic art today. You know we love our art on Wake Up Nigeria. We have an artist, Timothy Olalekan. Now, he has a very deep appetite for environmental art. And yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Stand by for it.
Very talented artist. I can see some of his works there. Looks really nice. And there's something cooking at Uber Nigeria, and we'll be getting more details very shortly.
Now, Max FM is going to be too, and we'll be linking up live to find out what Mark and Debbie are up to on their breakfast show today.
Yeah, you forgot to add Crazy Mark and Debbie. Look, like they keep threatening to come and disrupt our show. While we're on, just step in and disrupt
Yeah,
things.
it's actually welcome.
Because that's what we're about to do to them today.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
so
we're
guys,
going there to disrupt their show.
Yes, that's the plan.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Okay, so they don't know.
they don't know.
Nice,
Are you
nice.
sure they haven't heard already? Because we just said it on air.
I don't tell tales.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No.
Oh, that'll be nice. That'll be
Okay,
nice.
so guys, let me tell you what's happening today. Today is Get Smart About Credit Day. Today is Spreadsheet Day. Titi, I'm getting somewhere. The last one, I'm keeping it for the last deliberately. Today is Spreadsheet Day. Today is International Day for the Eradication of Poverty. Really important. Today is Wear Something Gaudy Day. Like
Gaudy.
you are, yes.
Gaudy. What
Yes.
on earth does that mean? That word gaudy.
Bright
GAWY.
colors.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, something
Wear something
really-
body. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
today is Mulligan Day. That's for second chances, which is still leading to what I was going to tell you. Today is Conflict Resolution Day.
Okay.
Very important, which is still leading to what I want to tell you.
Mary.
Today is Playing Card Collection Day. Do you still
can't-
play cards?
Oh, yeah. Well, no.
Well, I know.
Well, have you?
Not in a while. I tried to play with my son the other day. I was trying
It
to
was
remember.
not flowing. You can't remember some
He
of
was
the
moving a
rules.
bit too fast. Yeah.
And then finally, the one I've been leading up to. Today is Forgive an Ex Day.
Wow.
Forgive an ex.
Wow. Seriously, Mary?
You can't be saying that to Titi.
Why? Why? What? Because I've forgiven them all. I
She has
have.
answered you now.
I've forgiven
Titi's
them all.
married. She doesn't have exes. What does that
Oh
mean?
wow.
Calm down.
Really? Like seriously, if you,
Have you forgiven all your exes before you got married?
Oh, no, I'm saved.
you're sick.
Uncle, we are talking about them.
So the past,
Did you forgive them?
Nice.
old things are passed
Passed away.
All things are become new.
Yes,
so
so-
I'm a new man.
Yeah, but
Did you forgive them so they
for-
can move on with their lives?
They don't
Without-
exist.
Wow. Mary, this
sorry.
conversation is too much for this couch. We cannot even enter it.
So
But really,
there's
when
nothing
you think
to forgive.
about it,
Don't you understand? There's nothing to forgive.
wow. The issue now for me is before you can even
Yeah.
move on at all, if you haven't forgiven, you've not truly moved on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so he has obviously forgiven.
Yeah, you've
Can
actually
we move on?
forgiven. Yeah. So we've forgiven your me, so we can move on to the news now.
Can we move straight to the news now? All right. Sarah is on standby for that.
All right, let's just move to the news update. Discussions will continue later on the show. But for the news, an inferno on Wednesday brought pain and agony to residents of Onitsha, the commercial city in Anambra State. The State Police Command confirmed that the fire started from a petrol tanker that had an accident around the Upper Iweka axis of the city. Ochanga, the second largest market in the town, was razed as the fire burnt through dozens of residential buildings and commercial premises. Hundreds of vehicles were also torched as the fire moved with petrol flowing down the road. Meanwhile, a yet-to-be-identified woman and a baby caught up by the inferno and burnt beyond recognition were rushed to Toronto Hospital. They were certified dead by a medical doctor while receiving treatment. While there is no agreement yet between Labour and the federal government as negotiations enters the third day, negotiations to continue after 8 hours of meeting in the early hours of Thursday failed to reach a truce. Negotiations between the federal government and organized Labour over implementation of the new minimum wage is still on, and all parties are due to resume 7 p.m. today. The Labour and Employment Minister, Chris Ngige, says a subcommittee of the negotiating team has been mandated to look through some documents and come up with agreeable figures. The subcommittee is to feed the larger house by 7 p.m. this evening, and after which deliberations are billed to be concluded. The NLC president, Ayuba Waba, admits some concessions have been made but will not disclose details until talks are concluded. It says states that have kick-started strikes do so after breakdown in negotiations with their respective governments. Now, TVC News gathered that Labour has shifted grounds from 29% consequential adjustment demand for grade levels 7 to 14 to 25% and 20% from 24% for those on levels 15 to 17, but government says it is not feasible. Then another Nigerian, an entrepreneur has been killed in South Africa over an alleged business disagreement with a client. This comes just weeks after the that's Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari and his counterpart, Cyril Ramaphosa, met where they renewed their commitment to ending xenophobia. The Nigerian Union in South Africa says the man identified as Ikenna Otugo was stabbed by unknown assailants in Mpageni on Tuesday. The 41-year-old native of Nimo in Njokoka, local government area of Anambra State, died on the way to the hospital. Now, he's survived by a 9-year-old son. And at least 490 Nigerians have fled South Africa over the xenophobia attacks. Now, out of Nigeria, Ethiopia's central bank is confident the country will receive $1 billion from the World Bank over the next fiscal year after the government announced a new 3-year economic program. The Washington-based lender in October last year approved $1.2 billion for the government's agenda to liberalize one of the world's fastest-growing economies and attract more foreign capital. National Bank of Ethiopia Governor Yenaga Desi says the financing envelope depends on reallocation processes within the World Bank. Ethiopia last month unveiled its latest plan known as Homegrown Economic Reform. Now, the future of Boris Johnson's Brexit deal hangs in the balance as EU officials say the outcome of talks should be known by the end of the day. Now, EU's Donald Tusk says he would have bet on a deal 24 hours ago, but doubts had appeared on the UK side. The Prime Minister is trying to get Tory Brexiters and Democratic Unionists on board for his revised plan for Northern Ireland. He's in a race against time to get a deal before Thursday's crucial EU Council meeting and likens the talks to climbing Mount Everest. And that's the news update for this hour. Stay tuned.
Now, Odunayo Sonya is a professional with over 23 years experience of postgraduate, of course, in education, banking, and telecommunications as well. Now, she is an alumni of the Lagos Business School, the IMD, with executive trainings with Harvard Business School and Cornell University. Now, Alphabets of Leadership for Young Minds is a book that she has written, and she's going to be talking to us about this book today. and why she decided to focus on young minds, even though she could have done something more corporate, I guess. This book is interesting for many reasons, but let's start from the fact that you decided that you were going to focus on young minds.
Great. Thank you for having me on the show. I have 3 daughters, and at the time my first daughter was going into secondary school, I wanted to present her, because she was going as a boarding house student, I wanted to present her a journal, you know, to talk about topics of life, things like God, career, love, friendship, and things like that. I did start the journal, and then at some point I met with a lot of people in the course of life and realized that parents wanted to tell a story to their children, to leave something, but they didn't quite know how. And so last year, I'm also a member of the John Maxwell team. It's a vibrant community of coaches. We're coached by John Maxwell. And we do this global youth initiative, take out a month, 2 months actually in the year, and we try to reach X number of youths across the globe. And then I decided to start a series on social media. And it was to last 26 days, but it's lasted 1 year. And I decided to take every alphabet and talk about things that are not really, you know, they're not common, but that children need and young people need to make something out of their lives. Another thing that really pushed me was when you look at our population, we're pretty much 75% young people. We're a very young nation. And there needs to be something that they can hold on to so that they can lead themselves. And then we begin to see that as we build, it becomes, you know, advantages for us as a nation as they grow.
I like it. I mean, when I looked at the book and I saw that you had actually done something with every alphabet, initially I thought it was just, you know, a term that you just coined, alphabets, or something that people needed to know. But I didn't saw that you, for every chapter, there's a particular alphabet that you had chosen, and then, you know, coined a word out of it. And I thought that was pretty interesting. But one of the things that I thought was more interesting was the fact that each chapter is quite short. And was that because of the attention span of very young people? You know that they might not be able to read for too long, and so you just kept it 2 to 3 pages and then had a workbook at the end.
So I always believe there's power in simplicity. The simpler it is, the better. Now, it's so much about what they do with it, not so much about what I write in there. And that's why every chapter, or every alphabet also has questions that they must work at for them to become, you know, a better person.
I like that. In one of the chapters I liked was the chapter on excellence. I think that was chapter 5, and it was quite key, especially for our generation, you know, Nigeria. The fact that a lot of people talk about mediocrity, and so excellence is one of the things that, you know, needs to be infused in the young people, which is important. But the workbook, talk to us about the workbook, the workbook side of it. What did you hope to achieve with every chapter, the workbook at the end of every chapter?
Okay, so the expectation is that at some point, you know, parents will pick this book and they will sit with their children within the family setting and be able, you know, to hold themselves accountable to a journey of becoming better people. At some point, I'm also expecting that we can get this into some secondary schools, and, you know, it's pretty much like social studies and the civics type of it. But the power behind the workbook is that what is written is very powerful. So you make a commitment to become a better person. You list how you're going to do it. Is it accomplish? What are you going to accomplish? Is it belief? What are you? How do you change your belief about yourself? Is it going, you know, the extra mile, the win-win? I particularly like the win-win, where we believe that we all can win together. How would you enable someone else to win together with you? So it's that spirit of accountability and commitment, which when you follow through, you find that, you know, people get to do what they say or put down that they will do.
Okay, so a lot of times life happens, and sometimes even with the best of intentions, you have this book that you carry along with you, or a journal that you've written everything. As a young person, life happens. You fail an exam, somebody breaks your heart, you know, so something happens that just makes you not want to see anything like this. There's something trying to motivate you because you just want to be sad during that period. What would you advise for someone who probably is being mentored by you, even from afar. They're reading the book and they're writing, but they're going through serious challenges that the book doesn't seem to address directly. What would you say in that kind of situation?
So I would say that I believe that, when people hurt, they should grieve, they should mourn, but it's the time span, is the amount of your time. Because for every time you mourn and you grieve, your life is held. You're not really moving forward. You're not accomplishing anything. But it's okay to cry, to throw things aside, but you also need to pick yourself up because there will only be 24 hours in a day. You understand? And so whether you use it or you don't, it doesn't stop the time. And so my advice to such a person being mentored by me would be that it's okay to be angry, but you know what? This anger has to have some time, attached to it. And once we're done with that, we move on. And that's why even the book is not just one chapter.
Right.
So there are many chapters. So different emotions, different things being said. And once you close one, you learn, you carry on your learnings to the other chapter. And I believe that every encounter we have in life, whether good or bad, is a playbook to learn from. Because I believe that sometimes they say sometimes we win. A lot of people say sometimes you lose, but sometimes you learn. So when you learn, you plug that back into your playbook of life.
I like that. I like that. Win or learn, not win or lose. Odunayo Soya, this is the book right here, Alphabets of Leadership for Young Minds. It's a really, really good book, very instructive, and also it will help you a lot, even in your own personal journey as an adult, because, reading it myself, I saw that, okay, this is good, leadership and a lot of the things that you talked about. Wish you all the best with the book, and hopefully we'll attend your book launch or book presentation or whatever it is it's called nowadays. We're heading over to the kitchen where Mary is on standby for us.
Thank you.
Okay, a lot has been happening. We have not even had breathing space, just trying to get everything done. So far, so good. Chef Cheesy. Did I just say cheesy?
Cheesy.
I know, but I don't know.
Maybe you feel like eating cheese.
Maybe that's why. So we still have Chef Jeezy in the kitchen with us this morning, making breakfast. He's making like 3 things, so it's quite a mouthful. And he still has tea to serve, and he's also giving us juice. And I'm like, wow, I don't think I'm working again after this today. Did I say that out loud? Okay, so let's get busy. Sausages have been sauteed here. So this is why he was cutting the sides. For those who watched it the first time, this is the reason he did that, just so as to have that grilled look on it. Take a look. Yeah, so this is it. There you go. Yeah, so to achieve the grilled look is why he had to do that, if you can see this. Now, while we are moving on, as you can see, we've sauteed the vegetables. On your screen right now is the menu. Quite a lot to scribble. You might want to go to any of our social media pages to write them down, okay? There's a lot on the screen, so you might not be able to catch it right now. But that's what we're making this morning. First, we're making the fruity pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a name for it? The full name for that? You called it fruity, something fruity.
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal fruity.
Yeah, coconut fruity pancakes.
Yeah. Oatmeal coconut fruity pancakes.
Yeah.
And then we're also making omelets.
Yeah, vegetable omelette.
Vegetable omelette.
Yes.
And then we're also making the kebab. That's the sausage kebab,
yeah.
Okay? So you get to see how everything comes together at the end of the show, of course. So we're about to fry the egg.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the omelette going. The vegetable omelette about to cook. And now we'll show you how to make the pancakes. Talking about the oatmeal coconut fruity pancakes, okay? So I'll keep an eye on that while you show us how to make the pancakes, okay? So what's the first thing we need to do?
Pancakes are very easy to make.
So everybody says until you botch it.
So we'll just mix all our dry ingredients together.
Okay. So
make it well, then pour in all the wet ingredients together.
So let's get started with that.
Mix.
Which goes in first?
The flour.
The flour, okay.
And the oat.
So it doesn't really matter which one goes in first, as long as
they're all dry.
the powdery form first.
They're all dry.
Okay.
So let me just have this here.
Okay.
So we'll be making use of a cup of both oatmeal and all-purpose flour.
Okay.
I'm using oatmeal to make it more healthy.
Okay.
As the day go by, we're watching what we eat.
Yeah.
So we grow in the right proportion. So, but vegetarians could make use of only
Oatmeal.
oatmeal, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's healthy, but I want to mix both of them.
So this is, you're trying to achieve a cup of flour
Yeah,
altogether?
a cup of, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
So how many will the cup serve?
It's going to make about 6 pancakes.
A cup will make 6 pancakes?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, to make 6, depending on how thick the pancake is.
Okay.
And depending on the size of the pancakes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Don't worry, I have my eye. I almost forgot. But I have my eye on it. Okay.
So.
Just grab this for this. Yeah. So, go on. Now that we have that in, those are the only dry ingredients we're making use of, right?
Nope. Baking powder.
Baking powder. Okay,
sugar.
so let's put that in right away.
So I'll put in sugar.
Okay.
About 3 tablespoons.
Okay.
So.
3 tablespoons.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not too sugary, though.
Yeah, it's not too sugary. It's breakfast, you know.
Yeah, we need it for energy. Okay, this is coming along nicely.
Yeah.
So the idea of the vegetable omelette is because of everything we put in. The carrots, the peas, and the onions, right?
And bell peppers.
Oh yeah, and the bell peppers.
Green,
but they're cut so tiny.
Red, yeah. Concassé cotton.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you've put in, okay, you're just about to
I'm
put
trying
in the
to
baking
open
powder.
it now.
Okay. Are you trying to achieve whole omelette, or it doesn't really matter?
I want a whole, but obviously, with the way it's going with you, I don't think I don't think I might be able to achieve that again. But
Okay, so what do we put? What do we put next? Let's just talk about it so everyone can be with us on this. So we're putting in the baking powder. After the baking powder, what goes in?
After the baking powder, I'll measure in cinnamon.
Cinnamon?
Yeah, cinnamon powder.
Okay.
After the cinnamon powder, I'll make a well.
Okay.
I'll get my coconut milk.
Okay.
Then add some of the raisins.
And the grapes?
Yeah, and the egg.
Okay. Are you cutting the grapes, or they're going to be whole?
No, they're going to be whole.
Okay, and that's all?
Yeah,
we start frying?
Yeah, we start frying.
No wonder you say it's easy.
Yeah, it's very
It's
easy.
easy until you go to the market and you know the prices for these items. And then you just make your plain pancakes as usual. Anyway, we have to go on this break right now. Stay with us and still Wake Up Nigeria, and I'm making it whole. Tada.
Tada.
Welcome back. Now, a particular segment I've been looking forward to is tech. Why? Because I hardly ever get to do this segment. Mike is always in the forefront in this particular area. But today we have Barinada Alexander in the building. She's a legal practitioner who uses social media as a tool to meet the needs of SMEs through the law and business community. Now, a closed Facebook group of about 2,500 SMEs is dedicated to helping them get clarity, if I'm right, about the legal aspect of their business. The topic for this morning, visibility for SMEs. Every small business owner wants everyone to know where they are. This is important. And for some reason, a lot of people haven't figured out the fact that tech is now a big part of that. So this is what you've been doing, and you've been doing it quite well from what I hear. So we were discussing earlier on about niche carving. Yeah. Carving a niche for yourself online. So what's the first thing that you talk about when you meet an SME owner who needs assistance with that?
Okay, the first thing I would advise anybody who is trying to gain visibility and carve a niche for himself is to actually know what he or she wants to do. Okay. So you need to understand your business and understand what you want to achieve with being online. And that means that you can't be everything to everyone. So you have to actually decide that, okay, this is what I want to be known for. This is what I want to talk about. When people mention my name, this is what I want them to associate myself, my brand, my business with. Okay. So that's basically what niche carving is about.
Okay, niche carving. So you can't, if you're selling clothes, you can't sell clothes to both, you know, adults, children, men, like that? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, not exactly. If you're selling clothes, if you decide that, okay, I want to be selling clothes for everybody, that's fine, but don't let's find you today selling clothes and tomorrow you're selling land and the next day you're selling water. You know, you just have to be known for something.
You have to stick to a particular area
Yes.
and focus on it. But then again, a lot of people don't understand how social media works. But you're also in the legal profession. So how do you balance that out from a legal angle?
Okay, for a lawyer, there is this, we have a rule called the Rules of Professional Conduct, where you're not allowed to advertise, you're not allowed to solicit. And it's very tricky because it's so easy for you to come out and put out an advert, you know, on social media. But that's why you have to be sensible and smart and know what you're doing. And last week we talked about content marketing. We talked about educational-based marketing. So how I managed to, you know, bypass that restriction is by providing content that serves a purpose, content that actually meets the need of people. So in educating people, I'm able to still be visible out there, yet not breaking the rules of professional conduct for lawyers.
Okay, so yeah, there are some professions where you can't really, you know, go out there and advertise, and there's even some products that you can't actually just boldly go out and advertise for. For instance, baby food cannot actually be, you know, you can't actually put baby food out there and advertise it, well, in Nigeria anyway. So I'm thinking about people that are just starting afresh now. They're trying to understand the rules of online marketing. What is the basics? What are the ABCs that they need to know?
Like I said earlier, you have to, first thing first is to not focus on the money. Focus on value delivery. And that means people want to learn. You'll be surprised that a lot of people, what you think is so common knowledge that people should know, a lot of people do not actually know about them. So when you put out content, the first thing, the goal is to position yourself as an expert. You talked about baby food. So yes, you can't come out to advertise your baby food or to sell baby food, but you know, by putting out tips, health tips, baby tips, you know, meal tips for babies and all of that, somehow it registers in people's mind that, okay, this person must actually know something about this. And then people begin to reach out to you, and your brand just sells itself from these things that you do, from the way you market your services, not necessarily by doing direct advert.
Let's compare the social media platforms, the most popular ones. So we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram. So
LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn, of course. But now I'm trying to think, someone just coming on the scene newly, how do they know which of these platforms would suit them best?
Okay, so it depends on your product or your service. It depends on what you do, basically. For product-based businesses, I think Instagram works better, and that's because videos work better. You know, they convert more. So you have to look at what you do. I am a lawyer, and I do a lot of article writing. So I usually prefer to use Facebook and then Instagram, because I do videos too. So the most effective ones, Instagram, Facebook, depending on what you do.
Okay. So how long do you think it'll take for me to start seeing results? Okay, so maybe let's say I want to start selling, candles. How do I know, so what sort of time frame should I be looking at to see results?
Well, it is not so much about the time frame. It's so much about the effort and your consistency level. But ideally, 90 days should be enough if you're serious, if you know what you're doing and you're willing to put in the work. So you can't wake up today, post today, or put out an article today and then come back next week and expect people to still wait for you. I mean, they've moved on. So if you're consistent enough, within 90 days, you should start seeing results.
All right, then. So give it about 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
All right, of consistent posting and effort and content creation.
But not just posting, because sometimes it's not just all about them. There are lots of back-end work. So it's not about posting every day on social media.
And that's why we need people like you to give the advice. And of course, you've been coming on the show to give us advice, and we really, really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Barrister Barinada Alexander here. Thank you so, so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We are moving along with the show now. Yomi is on standby.
Yeah, Wake Up Nigeria's always got great talent. And Adeyemi Abdulrazak Hassan, better known by his stage name Pixie Yemi, is a Nigerian recording artist and songwriter from Lagos. He started his career in 2017. So he's just been around for 2 years, but he's following the footsteps of his friends, and he is best known for his debut hit single, My Type. And a year later, he released another single called Flex With Me, which is what he's going to be doing for us today. He's going to be performing another song called Wine Some More this morning. Pixie Yemi, are you ready for us? So you're going to be doing this. Of course, you've been doing this for 2 years, and I'm sure that you're ready for the big leagues now. All right, man, so do it.
Baby, love the way you take a hold of me. Baby, next to you is where I wanna be. My baby, just bend down, pause. You there? You're the only one for the boy. You there? I feel make I want some more.
All right, no matter what, we believe that you've had a great time so far today. And we're in the last lap, the last 45 minutes of the show.
Yeah, 2 hours gone by already. 45 minutes of amazing content is what is left for you today. So quite a lot to get to you.
Yes, so. Quick one, you know. A lot of people get addicted to this show.
Yes, indeed.
Just in
Yes,
case
indeed.
you are, just make sure you stay right there. Thanks so much for joining us. And of course, when it comes to good addictions, you can tell everyone you're addicted to watching Yomi and Titi, It's all right. My name is Titi Layo Oyinson.
Okay, you can watch us live right now. I like what is going on in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And, it's really getting me in the mood because it's sausages and breakfast and, that type.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look, in fact, you know what? That's an omelette. That's what they call omelette. Omelette.
It's colorful, it's nice, it's just ready for the taking.
There's everybody's
taking. You are not taking anything.
Everybody is doing ready, set, go on that food.
Which ready, set,
ready,
go?
Set, pounce.
Okay, let me ready, set, taste.
I'm gonna pay you guys a visit in a moment.
Titi, can you see what I'm doing?
I'm trying to ignore you.
Can you see what I'm doing?
I'm trying to ignore you right now.
Mary.
So this is the coconut
let's ignore Mary.
pancake. Nobody should scream in my ear.
TVCentertainment.tv is our website. And of course, we're streaming live on Facebook.com/TVC Connect.
Yeah, for sending your comments on our social media platforms, use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Yes, indeed. Make sure you have that TVC app. It should be close to your chest. It's available for download for both Android and iOS. So make sure you have that handy so you can watch us from anywhere in the world. Yeah.
Anyway, let's tell you what's happening. For the rest of the show, we're going to be showing you some fantastic art pieces from artist Timothy Olalekan, who has a deep appetite for environmental art.
Yes, indeed. And something else for you to look out for, people. Uber is cooking something in the Uber oven. We're going to be finding out what that's all about very, very soon.
And guess what? Max FM is going to be too. And we're going to be linking live to what's happening with Mark and Debbie. And I hear it's a surprise, so it's going to be special. Is it a surprise?
Have we spoiled the surprise already? Because they're watching us.
Somebody spoiled the surprise because we have to set up the DJ.
Goodness me. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, but they don't have to actually be in there with the camera.
Yeah, well.
So they can just be setting up whatever they're doing outside.
True.
Nobody should spoil that surprise.
I'm really interested in finding out what Uber are up to. When they say something, they're cooking something, they're going to launch something really good.
I just feel like it's free rides. I don't know.
Really? Free rides?
That's what I'm hearing in my spirit.
You never know. So if you want to make a request, you know how they do during Christmas.
What? Yeah.
I want to make a request to Uber. I want free rides for the rest of the year.
Do they used to do that on TV?
Yes, they do.
Well,
like a request show. I want to thank my mother.
But we have quite a lot of events at TVC and of course Max FM. So if Uber want to give our viewers free rides, I think we should work towards that. Yeah, they should bring them over.
Oh boy.
Yes. Yeah, that's how it's done. Yeah, we're kidding. But it's always fun to know that technology is getting bigger and better. There was a time when, you know, you could actually go out without your phone and not miss it. But now, all I have to do is have my phone, as long as I have data in it. I can literally go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I can go for weeks and not miss.
Everybody knows you.
You're a freak of nature.
I can go.
You.
They call me a freak of nature.
Mary will just be like, where's my phone? I'm like, where's my phone?
All the time. So I was going to say, following up on what Mary was saying earlier on, I know you said it was Forgive an Ex Day. Just talk about forgiveness in general, which can be very difficult when somebody has been very hurt by something.
And then it's turned to bitterness.
Especially, you know what I discovered, that the biggest issues that people have with others is from what people said and not necessarily what people did.
Yes.
So somebody said something really hurtful to you or about you, you weren't there, and then you heard about it, and you're thinking, oh, this person, I thought this person was my friend, or I thought it was my sister, and then you then carry such hurts for a long time.
Yeah,
it reminds me of an incident that a doctor here, a wellness doctor, shared. I don't know if you guys were watching that particular episode. So it was in the garden, and he was talking about a patient that needed to heal. This woman had cancer, like it was, I think, stage 3 or so, and it kept getting worse. And the only reason she wasn't, the treatments weren't working was because she was bitter.
Yeah, you told that story before.
So sometimes there is research that shows that people that carry such burdens find it hard to move on in their health, in their spiritual life, in so many different ways. And just forgiving, just letting things go. Or not letting them even dig that deep into you in the first place.
So it's Forgiveness
to let
Thursday.
this conversation go.
Forgiveness Thursday, that's what
and
today
have
is.
Sarah take over now.
F&F, Forgive and Forget.
All right, and we're in the garden. Wake Up Nigeria is all about the art on Thursdays, and we have another amazing artist, Timothy Popola, in the garden with us. Welcome to the show.
You're welcome, man.
All right, so what sort of art are we talking about this morning? What sort of art is this?
We are talking about collage.
Collage?
This is collage.
Okay.
And collage is the art of using pieces of paper to form a picture.
All right. That seems very, very simple, but this looks very, very complicated. Pieces of paper, not just any paper, but this is newspaper.
Print.
Now, this looks like a stallion. It looks like a horse,
yes.
right? What was the mindset behind creating a horse with collage?
With collage. The reason is that I was trying to use scrap, to talk back to the environment. This is a form of environmental art, where we pick waste and convert it to something meaningful. And looking at the situation in the country, I started adopting cutout from newspaper to speak back to the environment of what is happening in the country.
So there are specific words
on
in
it.
here.
Yes.
I'm not sure if people can see it.
Yes.
I can see innovative. I can see programs. Yeah.
Yes.
I can see for
sale. Yes.
I can see Aptech in there.
Then tackling poverty.
Tackling poverty. So it's not just any pieces of newspaper you're using.
Yes.
All right, then. This looks very intricate. Well done for that. Let's
Thank you.
put this one down quickly. Well done. We still have more. Now, these two.
Yes.
Let's focus on the one with you for now. Can we angle that to the camera?
Yes.
What is the name of this piece? And what is this speaking to?
This piece, the title of this piece is Travail. Travail. How do we describe a woman that is in need, is desperately in need? How do we describe him? So I begin to imagine how to capture a woman in need, because when you are at the point of travailing, travail is actually from the word someone would want to give birth to a child. So how do you do? Because you need to push out that child. So, and looking at things around, because we need change, and we need change. So there are some cutouts like fuel subsidy, like so many.
I can see a lot of words in there. There are a lot of
urgent vacancy. We can only distribute what we are supply, like that. So it's
very deep stuff, and of course the look on that woman's face says a lot. Now we have someone putting their finger in their pocket here.
Yeah,
and it does look like an empty pocket. I'm reading something here.
Yes.
We will continue to stand by the people, the workers. Marketers begin fuel imports and forex exchanges. Wow. Okay, so talk to us about this.
Yes, this is, the title of this work is Etigi.
Etigi.
Etigi is a form of dance. I think it started reigning in Nigeria around 2013, 2014.
Okay.
So I saw a girl where I was teaching. She was dancing and she won the best prize. So I got the picture from the photographer.
Wow.
And I depicted it just to pass a message that in spite of what we are going through in Nigeria, let's still be joyful and hopeful.
Let's still be joyful and hopeful.
Yes.
At the back here, this one is a little more colorful, but this is a gentleman that looks like he has something on his head. Is that a beret?
No, this is a traditional dancer.
Traditional
it's
dancer?
Actually, we can only appreciate this kind of collage from afar. Because when you are close to it, you may not really appreciate, you may not really know what is there, the content. The content is with people that are looking at it from afar.
Okay.
Now, this is pieces of paper just to form a traditional dancer. You can see this thing,
the colors.
You can see the colors and everything. So
you
it's a traditional dancer.
went out of your niche there and decided to add color to this.
Color to it,
yes.
instead of to add aesthetic is part of that.
So there was actually something I noted. Now this piece here, you mentioned this earlier. I saw it earlier.
Yes.
And this is completely different, but I'm still trying to figure out what this is.
Now, this is my baby concept. I'm still trying to develop this because I've not yet framed any one of these concepts.
Okay.
Now, this is a mother. It's an abstract word. It's a mother trying to help a child to carry the load on the head.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
This is a tribute to Motherhood 5.
So are these pieces of cardboard? Or are they
pieces of cardboard in 1 centimeter height.
Okay. And there's something in the center there. Are those also pieces of paper or tape?
These are beads.
Beads?
Beads, yes.
Wow,
just to give it the flow.
Okay, yes. All right, beautiful.
Made with spiral.
Beautiful. All right, so it does tend to it looks like someone carrying something on their back, though.
Yes.
Is that the head of the baby?
This is the head of the mother.
The head of the baby,
This is the head of the mother.
Yeah.
This is the hand of the mother. This is the load. And this is the boy about to carry the load.
Wow. Okay.
This is the load, like orange and all that in a basket.
You have to look really deep at some of these art pieces before you can connect. Yes. All right, let's see if we can take any more. Now, there's some that you have framed at the back here.
Yes.
Let's look at these frames. Now, this is also collage, but you added paint to
it. This mixed media. If I want to give a collector, I'll call it mixed media.
Okay.
Why? Because I'm exploring two things: paint and paper. I actually explored the paper, paste the paper in form of painting. I painted with the paper. So, beautiful. And the title of the work is Tribute to Motherhood. A mother trying to assist a child, a son to learn how to read.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Now, this is a piece that looks so intricately done. Looks like you spent so much time and energy on this. We have to appreciate you for coming to show us all these pieces. Thank you so much. Now, there you have it. You should wait and check out our social media pages so that you can see these pieces a little bit more, with a little bit more detail later on. But we will be heading back into the studio now. It seems we have some guests.
Thanks so much, Titi. Very great artworks there that we're seeing outdoors. Now, Uber, you know them, the ride-sharing company, in collaboration with the Lagos State government, launched Uber Boat last week at the Lagos State Waterways Authorities in Falamo, Ikoyi. Now, joining us to talk more about this is country manager for Uber, Tayo Oyegune. And thank you for joining us,
Thanks, Yomi. Thanks for the opportunity.
Uber Boat, I've never heard of it. I don't know what it is, so tell us what Uber Boat is.
So in very simple terms, Uber Boat is a technology-enabled water taxi product, moving people along one of Lagos's busiest commute routes between Ikorodu and Falamo during commute hours, right, through tech-enabled services that allows people to move in faster ways through this route.
So this is tech-enabled, so that means it's through an app.
Correct.
So it means that I book an Uber Boat. So talk to us about how this is possible and how this works.
Definitely. So there are two stages, right, of the booking process. So the first one is the pre-booking. That should happen 24 hours before.
Okay.
So you can go to a link, t.uber.com/book Uber Boat and reserve a seat for the next day.
So that's
t.uber.com/book UberBoat.
Okay, so this has to be a pre-planned trip,
A
24 hours before.
trip, correct. Right, and so when that booking happens, we encourage you to use your Uber details to book, because if you do that, you can get a subsidized trip to or from the jetty, and we pay 50% off on this trip. And the second stage of booking happens when you get to the jetty. So once you get to the jetty, you open your application, you can see the Uber boat view.
Right.
You click on it, a PIN is generated that's put into a secondary phone held by one of our brand ambassadors at the jetty, and the matching happens at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things I also heard about it is that it has some kind of timing attached to it. So you get to the jetty at a particular time, maybe a particular time for your trip.
So we encourage you to get there at least 30 minutes before to ensure that you have your seat on the ground and to ensure that you have enough time to complete the entire booking process.
Okay, so let's talk about payment options, because that's another thing that people will be worried about. Okay, is it cheaper? Is it more expensive than either the regular services and all of that? So how does that work?
So today, the standard trip along that route is 500 naira, quite cheaper than what you'd pay traditionally.
So that's from Falomo to
Ikorodu, depending on the time of the day. So we have 2 trips in the morning from Ikorodu, right, where there are lots of people going to work on the island towards Falomo. That leave at 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. And then in the evenings, people going back from Falomo to Ikorodu can take either the 5 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. boat. And then in terms of payment options, to answer your question, you can either pay this 500 through cash or card.
Okay, so you have both.
Yeah,
both
options. I know it's a very huge, cash-based society. So we're giving the option to riders who don't have the card on their accounts.
Now, give us a sense of what's going to be happening in the actual launch of this service, when people can start using it and all of that.
So we are focused on the pilot now, which we launched on the 11th. And that's going to run for 2 weeks. So for us, it's like learning about, what routes, how to optimize the service and this product. Also, we think we're scratching the surface now. There's a lot more we can do. We're focused on these 2-week pilots where we want to take learnings from this and seek to see how we can really, go full blown.
So that 2 weeks is ongoing now?
2 weeks is ongoing now.
Yeah, and anybody can join in this pilot, or is it a specific number of people?
No, anyone can.
Okay, okay. So I can actually use this service now?
You can, right? So if you went to t.uber.com/book UberBoat, you can go and reserve a seat for tomorrow or anytime next week.
Okay, so there's a pilot going on now. So if you live in Ikorodu and you work on the island, you can try it now. So
one left 30 minutes ago.
Okay, so one left 30 minutes. Okay,
ago,
okay, that's the one for this morning.
From Ikorodu down to Falomo.
And that's the second boat.
Second boat for the
there's
morning.
one for 7 a.m.
One for 8 a.m. And then back from Falomo to Ikorodu, you have 2 boats. One for 5 p.m. and the last one for 5:30 p.m.
Wow, okay. So talk to us about your partnership with the Lagos State government, especially with the water, corporation, and how, with the waterways, sorry, not the water corporation, and how this synergy would work.
Okay. So if you followed just our business model lately, you'd see that we are beginning to lay focus on partnerships with the government. And the government and regulators have become very key stakeholders for us. And that's for, key reasons. We think that if a city does better, we can do better in that city. And I think we also think that driving urban mobility and creating smart cities is a shared responsibility between the private sector and the government. I think that one way we can help here is through UberBoat. If you follow just His Excellency's mandate for this tenure, one thing he talked about a lot was just decongesting the roads. And so to put this in perspective, right, that route from Ikorodu to Falomo in the morning will take you about 2 hours on the average. Through this boat trip, it'll take you 30 minutes, right? So you're spending just 1/4 of that time going on. So I think in a world where we can get strong brands into that business, also create that efficiency and sell that value proposition, you're helping to fulfill these state mandates.
That's amazing. I mean, traveling for only 30 minutes means you can leave Ikorodu at 7, as opposed to leaving at 4 in the morning.
Exactly.
Is Uber going to other cities, just to round off?
With this?
Yeah.
No, so not yet. The focus is on Lagos. We think there's a lot we can do with Lagos, right? Traffic is a big problem here. Focus now is on Lagos, but where it makes sense and when it makes sense, we'll explore other things, other places.
Thank you so much,
Thank you very much,
Oyegunle, country manager for Uber Nigeria, joining us on the show. We're going to take a break now and be back with something that's happening with Max FM. Mary is over there already, and she's live. Welcome back. So our sister company, Max FM, is going to be 2 on Friday. That's tomorrow, the 18th of October. And we decided to snoop in on Mark and Debbie this morning to see what's going on with them. And it looks like, Titi, we're going to be hooking up with Mary in a bit.
Mary, you there? Mary?
Yes,
oh,
I'm
look
here.
at that.
I'm here.
Okay, how's it going?
I'm here. I'm on radio. I'm in my comfort
Okay,
zone.
now we need sound in the studio. We need some sound in the studio. We know you're saying something. We can't exactly hear you yet. I know everybody else can, but
Can you hear me now?
Yes, beautiful.
Oh, yeah, we can.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Fantastic. So I said I'm in my comfort zone.
Mm.
We're on radio,
yeah.
Max FM.
Hey.
Yes, and I'm here with Debbie and Mark.
Woohoo!
And together we're going to be talking about the Max FM studio party, which is happening tomorrow. Yes, live right here. Mark, you have started the celebration already.
It's all part of the dance and celebration. Good to have you here, though.
Great to be here. It's weird, right? I'm doing TV and radio at once.
I mean, 2 in 1.
Nice.
Okay, so guys, I'm going to start this off with you guys talking about working at Max FM, okay? So what's it like for you, Mark?
For me, it's been quite very interesting, quite adventurous, so to say, and state-of-the-art equipment to start with.
Yeah.
When you're working in an environment where everything is a bit smooth and you have no issues with your job description and understanding what the goal is, I think it's all smooth sailing at the end of the day. So
you can
it's
tell
like
Debbie's happy.
Just come and have fun.
Yeah.
You're having fun, you're getting paid. You see, that's the end goal.
It's like the biggest, greatest job on earth. I mean, no pun intended to anyone.
Yeah.
But I mean, where else can you get, having to wake up, come have fun with your colleagues, play music, and talk to everyone in Lagos. I mean, it's a blessing to be here.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So the Max FM studio party is the first of its kind here at Max FM. We've had different parties, but this one, we hope it will be yearly.
Yeah.
What should people listening, especially our listeners, because they have to tune in, right?
Yeah.
No, don't let me get ahead of myself. You tell me all about
I like
it.
that you said our listeners.
No, you tell me all about it.
We're all
Guys,
in this together.
You're part of the family, Mary. What's going on with you right now?
I am, but for now, I'm still on TV.
I know,
so when I
know.
come back later,
Now,
I'm back.
the listeners will have to look out for more excitement. You see,
Okay.
it will not break away from the norm of the music, back-to-back hit music, right? What we'll just be having is A-list artists and some artists coming around to celebrate with us.
Yeah.
The idea is just for people to know that, look, this is the place to be. In just 2 years, and look at what's happening. 1.5 million listeners. Every morning, people get a tune in. Breakfast show alone, you have over 800, 900,000 listeners in the morning alone. So it tells you the progress we're making back-to-back. So it's just enough for us to celebrate this progress. And that's why we say, hey, come party with us, enjoy. And we're going to be online streaming and doing a whole lot of attractions online, giveaways and all that. So we're not leaving out everybody.
In fact, the
Everybody's
giveaways
involved.
have been going on for days now.
Yeah.
So, Debbie,
yeah.
what should we expect from this party?
Well, let me just sing a bit of Star Plus. 2 years, don't waka, you still they carry go. Yes, so we're all in this together, as we said. I mean, over 1 million listeners. We obviously can't have over 1 million people inside the studio.
Yeah,
Of course.
nah,
So
nah,
that's why
nah,
we're
nah.
bringing the party to you. So wherever you are, tune in tomorrow. We're going to be, throwing it down. It's going to be a massive throwdown. The party is going to be lit, and we're going to be having, as Mark said, A-listers. Everybody's going to be a part of this, but there are some people that will be joining us physically inside the studio.
Enough to drink, but don't get tipsy though.
So it's gonna be fun back to back. You don't want to miss it. So make sure your radio is on 102.3 Max FM, your #1 hit music station for Lagos.
Now, this looks like an open invitation. So all of Lagos should come.
Yeah, no, tune in.
You can say, there's no
all of Lagos,
time
tune in. You don't have to live where you are. We'll bring the
guided.
party to you.
Oh, so
Just
we are the
tune
ones having the fun.
We are having the party.
joining us
Yes,
we're
in the
spreading
fun.
the fun
on radio.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But inside the studio, there are going to be games, karaoke.
Yes.
There's going to be
First of its
table
kind.
soccer. Everyone that comes into the studio will feel the fun, and everyone listening will also feel the fun. They
what-
just won't be able to see
What
the
games?
fun, but they will feel it.
What games are you playing tomorrow?
What am I going to be? I'm definitely taking charge of the karaoke. I mean, hello, have you heard my voice? Have you heard me sing?
But we're on radio, we're not on TV. So how can people who don't, they can't see us.
Yeah.
So how can they have a feel of the other games happening?
Now this is it. We're going to be having the PR team on ground. We're going to be
Great.
streaming live on Instagram.
Great.
So everything we're going to be doing on here, tomorrow, will be streamed online. So
Wow.
you are not out of the action. So the moment you're actually with us, listening, you're also watching everything happening. So it can be crazy when you're actually listening to fun and you're not having a feel of it with your eyes.
The physical part
So that's where technology comes in. We'll be streaming online tomorrow,
Facebook,
from the beginning to the
Instagram,
end.
Twitter. Make sure you're following us on all handles.
Platforms, exactly.
And you can also go live on the website. You'll be able to listen from anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world.
Fantastic. So, you know, max1023.fm. Fantastic. Right. So, folks, this is the famous Mark Otabo, and that is the very famous Debbie Debola Ajiboye.
And this is the most beautiful Mary on the Wake Up Nigeria show. Come on.
No, not the Wake Up Nigeria show, of the Max FM. Her.
You guys are on TV.
You can go back to Wake Up.
Okay, so guys, you already have this.
Titi, let me say hello to Titi now. Titi, what's up?
Calm down.
Good? I miss you. You know that?
Calm down. We are going to have to go back to the studio. You don't want me to
You can't be toasting me on live TV. It's not right.
Boy.
Don't be doing this. Don't out me.
Mind that the party is going to be lit tomorrow. Join us on Facebook. Join us on Instagram. And of course, join us live on air as well. Everywhere. Hey, the fun is going to be gay. All right, so over to you guys. Don't finish that pancake. I'm on my way.
The pancakes are already gone.
Yeah.
They're already gone.
I'm not sure you're going to make it here quickly enough time before the show ends.
Yes,
but yeah.
Chef Jeezy of
Chef
Royal
Jeezy.
Spices Academy.
So talk to us.
Yes. What did you put down?
We have a plate of breakfast served.
Okay.
We have coconut fruity pancakes with vegetable omelets and sausage kebab. We have cinnamon tea and then a drink of guava.
All right.
So
So thank you so much for joining us.
have a taste of that.
I guess this is a reward for coming last.
We save the best for last. That's what we do.
Exactly.
Wake Up Nigeria.
I'll just try some of this.
Please do.
Let's see how that goes.
Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
So the chef is anticipating your response here. He's just...
He came all the way from Ibadan just to add.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
To add to the pressure on you or on him. I don't know which one. Anyway.
So what do you? All right.
Well done, chef. Well done. Good job. Good job.
Now that's what we were hoping
Representing the guys from Ibadan.
That's yes, right. So.
I'll go see Ibadan for this.
Yes, so. Now,
all right. We have to start rounding off the show.
Of course. A big shout out to our friends at Homely NG for the amazing kitchen accessories they send over to us. We appreciate you and everyone who's tuned in throughout the week. Wow. Tomorrow is Friday, meaning one thing and one thing only.
And if you live in Ikorodu,
what? Wow.
Try that Uber boat.
Uber boat.
Over the next few days, I think.
Ikorodu this evening at 5 p.m. and 5:30 p.m.
Yeah,
yes,
very
indeed.
nice. Very nice.
Try that out and join us again tomorrow, and it'll be game day. We have games every Friday. You need to join us for that one. It's always a fun day every Friday.
I'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. as usual.
Bye.